Right. Get ready. It's time for another FIA debacle. But this time, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, hold your hat. In the latest episode of FIA Departures, Johnny Herbert will no longer serve in his role as a Formula One driver steward. Last year, Herbert came under fire after making comments about Max Verstappen's aggressive driving tactics against Lando Norris in the Mexico City Grand Prix, which angered Jos Verstappen. Herbert said things such as Verstappen being over the top with his aggression and believed the four-time F1 world champion had a horrible mindset. Late last year, I put together a timeline of the FIA's revolving door with all of the people who departed, and now Herbert is the latest figure to leave. The link to this is in the video description below. The FIA have released this statement. It is with great regret that we announced today that Johnny Herbert will no longer fulfill the position of F1 driver steward for the FIA. Johnny is widely respected and brought invaluable experience and expertise to his role. However, after discussion, it was mutually agreed that his duties as an FIA steward and that as a media pundit were incompatible. We thank him for his service and we wish him well in his future endeavours. So, Matt, what are your thoughts on Johnny Herbert's departure from his role with the FIA as the F1 driver steward?
And another one's gone, and another one's gone, another one bites the dust. Da-da. Sorry, Johnny. Saw this morning, looked at the graphic that we've just shown, read it, wasn't surprised. Again, another story that we've talked about forever in the plight of FIA versus the world. We've lost probably the most current, this is a stretch because Johnny Herbert hasn't been in a Grand Prix since what, 99? The most current driver, something like the 99 2000-ish, the most current driver to fill that role. So that's now 25 years between a driver running that and actually being in a Grand Prix. That's worrying. But I guess if the FIA can't have one without the other, with whatever media, obviously it's not part of the Sky team, it hasn't been for some time. Sky F1, that is, here in the UK and of course around the world. So with other media obligations, they, I guess, wanted him to try and be straight down the middle with everything, and or be on the one side and not the other, and not very veer towards the middle, perhaps. I don't know. With what's been going on with MBS over the last couple of months, that line is extremely blurred. So yeah, interesting. I think probably that we've lost a good one there in Herbert being in that role, as we've seen from some of the the decisions that have come out in races that he has been in that position, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, if we know one thing about Mohammed Ben Sulayem as well, he does try and control everything, and he was really, really desperately trying to make Johnny be good.
Oh dear, goodness me!
So he had to tell him to go, Johnny, go, go, go.
Oh.
Sorry, I was waiting ages for that one. I enjoy Johnny Herbert as an F1 driver. By the way, I would recommend Josh as the FIA president. I would take that job as the FIA president